Hello YouTubers. Hey, I have a special kind of walking stick to show you today. And I skipped the part where I skinned the bark off of it and I got it kind of roughed out. And you can see here, it's very rough. Just stripped the bark off and roughed it out using a angle grinder outside. So now I'm going to take you over to the bench and show you what the first step in this new process is. Going to share it with you. Just come on. First, I'm going to show you how to carve and get a cross on top of your walking stick. First thing I do, I'm going to cut it off where I want the top of the cross to be. And then I want to mark just about the height of that cross itself. And just a little mark there where I can see it. And that's how deep I'm going to cut down. So I'm going to turn that on and I'm going to cut me a mark down to that mark. Along in there somewhere. And then I'm going to move over and get me another mark. And that's cut in about the same depth. And then I'm going to turn it around and stick it out the other direction here, as you can see. And I'm going to cut this off, cut that slug out of it. There you go. Now let's see if I can't clip this from the head out a little more. Get a screwdriver or anything to pop that out of there if it don't. There it is. Now, see what happened right there? You have just a flat on both sides. Let's turn that off now for just a little bit. Now, I'm going to draw that cross right on that flat. Now I'm going to make this plenty big because we're going to carve some of it away. So I want to go from the base up this way and up this way. And I'm going to go right across the top here somewhere and across here. There is a pattern. Just eyeball that around just across the best you can there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut down to that line and down to that line. I'm going to turn it around and cut from there to there and through to there. The other side, there, there, and there. So let's get on with that. I'll just simply hold that right where we got it, and I'm gonna cut it right through there. Now I'll turn this around so I'm looking at it this way. And I'll cut that slug out right there. Cut this out too. Cut that out at the base of the cross. And then you'll see now, I can't stick the stick out that way. So what you got to do is just transfer your lines around. The bottom ain't going to matter. But right here, I'll just eyeball that, go straight down and straight down there. And then I'm going to cut that up there and down to there. And that will be cut about that length right there. So now we will just hold this, cut that out. Okay. Now we need a jigsaw. So let's go over to the jigsaw and do a little more cutting out. Now see, with the jigsaw now, we can slip this in here zipper blade in there and commence to cut that down the length of the cross. And over here, I get the blade the same way. Cut that off. So that's not too bad right there. That'll just break out. And that leaves you a rough little cross right on that end right there. And we're going to go over to the carving bench now and take a look at that. And I'll show you where we go from there. Okay, now that we've got the cross cut out here, it's going to be all in one side, top of the stick. There's a cross we just cut out, and I showed you how to do that. And now it'll just be a matter of fact of rounding off the edges and kind of trimming it up the way you look like. And I'm gonna have kind of a mound of stone or something around the top, a taper up to that cross. So let's get on with that, and I'll show you what that looks like. Put my hood down, everything's set up here. Now, might not always be able to see the cross. Just get the edges ground off. Get a good taper on that old rugged cross. Turn it over. Get a little bit more on there. That old rugged cross will take care of you. Now we go up down here. And taper that around. Just like this. These crosses probably made out of timber. We didn't spend a lot of time on them because they were going to hang somebody. Really wasn't too particular about how they looked. Remember, the Bible talks about the old rugged cross. That's why it says that. And it was a little rugged in those days. Get that shape like a cross. Now, I don't know if I'm leaving this all in the, we can follow this or not, but now I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around that stick, cutting notches out around, and we're going to kind of build up a little mound leading up to that cross. We do that by just making little cuts right on down in there. See that? Don't want it to come out just even around the edges, but you want to get it right up down to the base of that cross. Okay. Turn it off now. And show you what we got. The saw got in a little deep right there. And what I'm going to do is put some sawdust in there, right in that cut, and we'll lay that right in there like that, all around there. You have to fill that up with sawdust. Now what we'll do, take some of this thin CA glue. Let it thin right there, and you just put a drop right around the base of that like that, just like we're doing there. I'll put a little bit more of it now. The saw got a little deep in there, and that's no big deal when we do that. You can see that glue, that fixes it right up. Now that's dry right now. It's just about ready to start grinding on again, and we won't even see that saw mark. We'll ride around the top and we'll grind that kind of smooth. Right there, see that's solid. And we don't have an undercut there from that saw mark. Let's go again. This time, we just glaze right over the top of it like that. See, it looks like it's a little bit long on one side. I'm going to cut that down a little bit. Now that's pretty well the same on each side. You can just eyeball it. Stand it on the heel top there. Leave it a little bit rough. That's the old Red Cross right there on that heel. I hope that looks good. It will. After we get it finished, it's going to look better. So let's take it back to the bench and get it all sanded off real slick. We'll put a finish on it. And amen, brother, we're going to be done. So we'll get about 3 inches down here. And I'm going to make a mark. Kind of goes all the way around this stick. That's our upper mark. And then we'll measure 16 inches from that, roughly. I said roughly. And we'll go down about there. Don't have to be exact. Make your mark, roll it around, all the way around the stick. Put your mark about 1 inch. You can guess 1 inch. Anyway, put that on there. Inch down here, that's going to make us about 14 inches between in the inside there. Now lay it down. It's kind of laid down there flat. When it does that, that's your flat spot. So now, come down, kind of make a pencil mark roughly about center here. That's where the flat's going to be. And it's going to taper from here down into that flat, and that 1 inch taper down to that flat, and that's going to give us 14 inches of flat area, which we'll be able to get 12, 13 inches of scripture on it. So let's get that going, and we'll see what it looks like. Start this grinder, and really knocks it off of there. And hold it level. Here, and 16 inch mark. A little high up here. That's good. Now, that's good enough. We've got us a nice area. The stick is still thick and strong. There's a cross on top of it. And we got a flat area there. You can see right there. That's where engraving is going to be. One thing I'm going to do, I got a little 120 on this sander, orbital sander, and I'm going to kind of smooth that out a little bit. That's all I'm going to do. And then we'll be right on over there to the laser and get that finished up. Here we are looking in on the laser. I want to remind everybody that you can do this, just stencil the pattern on there with carbon paper, and you can do the same thing with a wood burner. This will take about 5-6 minutes, where it will take you maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe you're faster than I am. So anyway, you don't have to have a laser to do this, but it helps with the time. So let's just go ahead and let it do its thing, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of sanding preparation now, just to get this smoothed out, and it'll be ready to finish. Yeah, we're gonna dust that off now. Go over and put some golden oak finish on it. Now I have my gloves on right here, and got the can of stain out here, and we're going to put the stain on this before we quit today, and put it all over the cross. And we're going to let that soak and dry overnight. What we're going to do is rub it down with the gloves just a little bit. And I'm going to try to dry it off. I just want to make sure it don't run. We're going to take it back there and stand it up with the rest of them and final finish on them in the morning. Here we are the morning after the stain. The old rugged cross is looking pretty good. We're going to use Water Lux on it again today. We just brush that on. What I do, I just like to make sure that I get it covered in that first coat, and then we don't need a second coat. That's all that's needed is a light coat. It don't leave brush marks. I want to make sure I got my old rugged cross there all spiffied up, really covered good. We're going to go right on down to the tip here, and I already have the eye screw in the end of it. It's going to hang in the back room, and I'll let it hang for 24 hours. There we have it. That's all it takes. I'm going to take it to the back room, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's important now that we put a little wrist strap on top of this. So come down about the middle, put your little punch mark on that before you drill the hole. And the reason we put that punch mark in there, you get it right on that punch mark, it'll follow that right on down. And another little tip here is don't drill all the way through that. Take a look. And we don't want to go all the way through. Barely break through there. Sometimes you can feel it. We just didn't go all the way through. See right there? There's the hole. Now we want to turn it over and drill the rest of the way through that way. This prevents any splintering tear outs that you might have. And it'll line itself back up with that hole. Now you see we have a clean hole on both sides right there. If you punch it right on through, this will be splintered out. Now let's get over on the bench and put us a wrist strap on. I'd use at least 3 foot, the same end that you could just cut. What you want to do is get it in that hole, and you turn it slightly and it'll go through for you. 3/16" hole. Now you want to hold the ends even like this and pull it up to where it's even on both sides. Now you go the opposite way with it and just turn it over. Put it kind of snug, and on the other side of the hole we'll tie another slip knot. Let it go just like that. Now the other side, turn it over, back over to the hole, and we want this one to go right over the hole, like that, with that knot. Okay, see that kind of hides the hole there. Your hole is, well, you can see where it barely comes through over there. But that's enough right there. You want to hold that tight and get you a square knot in there. And what that means, it's going to go up and back through here. This is not a knot tying demo, so if you don't know how to tie a square knot, I would just look on Google or YouTube and find out. I'm not going to go into detail about tying this simple knot, but you got that square knot in there that has to be a square knot. And then you can, or you don't have to, but I put a little drop of CA right on that square knot so that stays there. And you usually have one shorter than the other left. Take the longest one, wrap it around there and tie it, just wrap it around that string, tie it just so as to make a slip knot, so that'll slip up and down in there now. Now you take the same one that you just tied, snug it up just so you can feel it a little snugly on there. Now tie you another knot right on that. Don't matter which way you go, that's going to slip up and down on that. Now what I like to do is hold the one that's going to slip, hold it up out of the way. Make sure that that's well out of the way. Put a little CA glue on that. Just a little, because that soaks in real quick. Now we'll let that dry on there. Give it a few seconds and make sure it still slips up and down. Now the one that don't slip, we want to cut and leave about a 1/2, 3/4 inch, whatever you want there, and then pull it back out. Take your cutters and cut, leave that one a little longer than the other. Then take a burner. I have a Dremel here that's pretty handy if you do a lot of it, but you can use a kitchen match, cigarette lighter, anything you have. I guess a charcoal lighter would work very well on these. They burn a little. If it gets to burning, just let it burn a little and then blow it out. That leaves you a little nylon ball right on the end, keeps it coming unraveling. And then you'll see that it also flips up and down real nice. Now let's get the stick up and do a final review now. Okay, that about does it for another video. This one is unique, as I'm calling it the old rugged cross. Right here I carved a cross on top, and I showed you how to do that. And also the purple wrist strap, which goes along with that biblical stick, I think, very well. And I want you to take a look. Now on one side of this, you have a Bible verse. And I think we can read it this way. It says, "You are my rock and my fortress." Now on the other side, see, it's all finished out slick, nice. We have the old rugged cross on top. So now if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Main thing, if you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, and if you want to get notified, you can click that little bell. That's what that's for. Until then, I appreciate your continued prayers from my wife, Susan. And also, I'll see you in my next video.